Hi, everybody. For this week's 11, I saw a patient, AH, who is a 15-year-old male with no past medical or psychiatric history, and he presented to the psychiatric emergency room with his mom due to some odd behaviors that started on March 17th. His mother reports that HH was reading the Bible loudly as if he was preaching and standing over his brother. And this type of behavior is not usual for the patient, and it prompts the mother to take him to the psychiatric emergency room at U of M. So, upon further evaluation, his labs and imaging were found to be unremarkable. His drug screen came back negative as well, and his CAT scan came back negative for any brain lesions. He was found, however, to have a fever of 100.8 Fahrenheit on the 19th, and so further medical workup is being done to rule out any autoimmune diseases, especially autoimmune encephalitis, and other possible infectious etiologies such as PANDA, which is a pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric disorder associated with streptococcus infection. All right. So the medical team is continuing to work him up to rule out any medical etiology to ensure that we can get an accurate diagnosis for the patient. So I had the pleasure of assessing him today, and he was sitting in a chair and he was reading the Bible. He's just very engrossed with, what he was reading. So when we entered the room and we're talking to him, he looked up at us and he was able to answer questions regarding like social issues such as his mother and father who have been divorced and the stress of living in two homes because he lives 50% with his mom and 50% with his dad. He also reports that his mom is evil because she locked him out the house and also brought him here to the hospital. And he says that the reason why he was brought to the hospital when we asked him was to, quote, spread the word. He also reports being on a special mission. So the first mission he's on is to give people the Holy Spirit through touching them and hugging them, and also spreading the word is his second mission. So as we continue to talk to him, his psychosis became more and more evident. He later says that he's Jesus Christ and that he died on the cross and rose from the dead, and also that he had not been eating because he didn't have an appetite. And he says that he's lost 110 pounds since he was born, and when he was born, he weighed 220 pounds. He does deny any auditory or visual hallucinations, although he reports that God is telling him to do certain things, such as read certain parts of the Bible. He was not able to tell us what he liked about certain passages that he was currently reading. He says he was currently reading Zechariah, and when we brought up reading the Bible, like, what do you like reading about the Bible? Like, is there something particular that stands out to you that you like about it? And as soon as we mentioned the Bible, he just became so engrossed again into reading and just started reading the Bible again right in front of us, and like refused to answer any more of our questions. And one of the psychiatrists had attempted to ask him, well, what do you like about what you're reading right now? Like, can you tell us what it says? And when she asked him that, he said, Babylon. Babylon. And so we were like, what did you say? And then, but he refused to talk to us anymore after that. I mean, he was just so entrenched in what he was reading. So for his diagnosis, it's psychosis disorder due to another medical conditions with delusions. He has a high suspicion of autoimmune encephalitis. Access 2 is deferred. Access 3, his mother and father's divorce and living between two homes. Access 4 is a fever. He had 100.8 fever. He's also obese, and he has been hypertensive since he's been admitted to the hospital. He didn't have that diagnosis prior to his admission, but he has been hypertensive very consistently since he's been here. And access 5 is 10. So I found a research article that talks about autoimmune encephalitis. And it just says that autoimmune encephalitis is being increasingly recognized in children, and the anti-NMDAR encephalitis is